The topic for week 1 is limits and derivatives. And the topics we're going to cover are, so I'll start off with a concept called present value. And this is just a way to decide how much a future stream of payments is worth today. And then I'm going to use the idea of present value to motivate a mathematical idea called a limit. And a limit is just, it's the value of a sequence of functions or a sequence of numbers, as you just keep going. So it's something you can never actually arrive at, but it's something you can approximate. In section 4, we'll talk about evaluating limits. So this is a very common mathematical operation. Section 5, I'll introduce a concept called continuity. And so you can think of a continuous function as just one that you could draw without lifting up your pen. Mathematically, the way I would say that is that a continuous function is a function where the limit of a function as I approach a certain value is just equal to the function evaluated at that value. In section 6, I'm going to then apply the limit to an estimate of the slope of a function. And then when I take the limit, I end up with something called a derivative. And so that's going to be differentiation. And then the rest of the lecture is just going to be methods for evaluating derivatives. So we'll talk about something called the product rule and the chain rule. So this is when I have a complicated function, a function that's made up of smaller functions. I can express the derivative of my function in terms of the derivatives of those smaller functions. I can do higher derivatives. So a higher derivative is just a derivative of a function. And then I'll give an example using a concept called duration of a bond. And then finally finish this week with something called L'Hopital's rule. And L'Hopital's rule is a way of evaluating a limit that's undefined. So I could end up with a limit of something like 0 divided by 0. I can actually use derivatives to make sense of a limit like that.